everyone, it is Crystal with Pineapple Papers, and it is time for Sketch Sunday. So we are still doing exclusive sketches. So today's sketch was made by Moira, and so she's got some mixed media in the background, and I decided I was going to use one of my pre-made mixed media papers from Colorist Studio. I really like the blue. I did contemplate adding another color, but this layout turns out to be very monochromatic, and I am totally good with that. So I am digging into my scraps. It is January, so it's all about the scraps, right? I think that's what it's called. And last year I did really good, and I made page kits. And I made it through a bunch of my scraps, but I am not doing so well with that this year. So we'll see if I can dig into those scraps a little bit more. So all of the pattern paper I'm using are from my scraps at least, and I am going to triple map my photo with 3 scraps. And then those 3 scraps will make those banners that go up in the top. So it looks like Moira has a 4x4 photo. So I had contemplated doing a 4x4 as well, but I really liked how the clouds looked in the sky. So I didn't trim it down too much. And then I went in my stash, and I have like a little container that just has florals that don't go with any collections. And I don't even know where these layered florals came from, but they're pretty cool. And I also have these Jolie like fabric flowers, which I totally love too. And so I'm going to make the 2 clusters of flowers with basically 3 flowers. I did pull those horizon florals out. I don't have any more of that collection, but I had picked up some of just the florals because you can always use them. So I've got the 3 sets of florals, and I will go ahead and glue those down. I think they all get glued down with Nouveau Deluxe adhesive, even though it's a pre-made background and there's not actual mixed media on there. But that's okay. So here I'm making those banners. I did decide to do 3 instead of 2. And then I'll tell you a little bit about the picture because it's kind of an odd picture. So when we went to Sonoma, we wanted to find like other things that were there, right? And when I looked it up, it came up with this. It's called the Lone Toilet, and it's a toilet that's like out in the field. And when I read about it, it was supposed to be functional, and I was like, I want to go use this toilet. Like, I think that's hilarious, and I have a fairly weak bladder, and so I'm like, perfect. We'll just add that to our trip, and that can be our stop. Well, we drove by it and almost missed it. Like, we had to turn around, and not only is it in the middle of the field, but there is like 0 access to this. And like the fields were kind of flooded, and there's no door on it. And so I'm like, I don't think it's actually functional. So it was kind of a fun little pit stop for us to see, kind of a randomness. And I was with my friend Tiffany, and we like to do kind of those randomy things. We always come with, anytime we're on a trip together, we always come up with like things that, like, we have a question that we have to Google to, find out about whatever. So it's always kind of fun. And my family would probably not want to stop. It was probably a 20-minute detour to go to this toilet, which didn't happen. So anyway, so that's the story of the picture. Now in the sketch, Moira's got this little circle up there by her banners, and that made me think of Flair. So I went into my Flair container. I'm going to end up pulling a chipboard Flair that is just random. I don't know where it's from, but the colors are perfect with some florals. And then 2 other ones from Scrap and Happy Studio. One says not today and one says nope. So I thought that was kind of funny. And then I'm just going to finish it off with some sequins from Spiegel Mom Scraps. And this one is Boyish Charm. I'm actually almost done with it, but it's got the blues and greens, which was perfect because that's kind of what I got going on in this layout. So I'm just going to take my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive and I just randomly stick down little dollops of glue, and then I use my crystal katana to pick up the sequins and place them down. There's not a ton of them, like there's maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 in each little cluster, just kind of scattered about just to give it a little extra sparkle. So that is going to do it for my layout today. Make sure you check out everybody below and see what they are doing with this sketch. And if you have any questions, let me know. I love to chat with you. So there is my final layout. And remember to wear your crown, and I will see you next Sunday. Bye.